Hey, I'm Shannon with directcarpet.com, and today we're going to show you how to put in this fabulous stair runner. This is Anderson Tuftex Always Natural Silver Polish. It's a gray blue herringbone stair runner carpet. We're going to show you how to do the left turn landing there. We're going to show you how to finish off your stairs, basic tools, basic installation. Let's get ready and let's get started. All right, so we've already put the underpad on. We have other videos to show how to do the underpad. We've got some basic tools: staple gun, mallet, tucker, kicker, staples. So what I'm doing right now is I'm rolling out the carpet from the bottom up. We install from the bottom up. Now you're going to see that the underpad is cut 1 inch shorter on each side. I'm lining it up at the bottom, and then we're going to measure to center it. Centering is very important. Now we're going to center from the spindles on the left side to the stringer on the right. I'm putting the kicker on top to hold the carpet in place, and now I'm just going to check those measurements and center. And then what I'll be doing is I will be creating a template or a spacer so I can run it up the exact side over there on the stringer side, and that'll keep the stairs going straight all the way up. So we're just going to lock it into place here, separating our pile so we don't get indentations. And I'm also going on the linear lines of the herringbone. See, I'm wiggling that staple gun a little bit. And then I'm rubbing out any staple marks. And if you have any staple marks, you need to countersink them. So what I'm doing now is I'm just pre-fabbing under the nose. This Anderson Tuftex carpet is very strong and very durable. So you want to pre-bend it a little bit. You know, break the backing a little bit. We're double tapping on the end, and we're putting a staple probably every inch or so. Now I'm just cutting that spacer that we were talking about. Right, I think it was 5 inches, so we made an exact 5-inch piece that was worked for center. And now we're going to use that as we go all the way up. And that's going to keep us consistent and straight and easy, right? So we've got some pressure on our hips. We're pushing in, and now we're going to break the backing of that carpet. We want to pre-bend that before we staple it. We need to have this stair runner nice and tight. So you can see I'm edging it. I am stapling it on the 45 on the groove. Now, if you use that stair tucker or stair tool that I was using, you can see how it breaks the backing and it gives it a nice 90-degree line. Now we're just going to countersink those staples, right? And now look at that groove. Amazing. Looks great. And the stair runner is nice and tight. We're going to take our template or our spacer, move it up one stair to stay on track. Now we're going to pre-bend this again, right, to get it formed underneath, because otherwise our staples are going to pop out. Okay, bend down, push under, grab your staple gun, and now I'm going up, under on a 45-degree angle, and I usually will run my hand underneath to feel if there's any staples that pop, so be careful because you'll cut your fingers. But that's the only way to really truly tell. You can see I just rubbed underneath there. Now we're up the next stair. We're following the spacer. We've got pressure. Now it's nice and tight. You can see I'm leaning in on that kicker. I'm not kicking, I'm leaning. Now I'm breaking the back a little bit. We're going to get it lined up and we're going to lock it into place. Break the back. Lock it in. Move the kicker. Break the backing, store the backing. Right, here we go. We're going to take the edge, the tip, and look at that. We're working that in. Pressure, staple. If you don't put pressure, you're going to have a loose stair runner and you're not going to be happy. So now we're going to countersink those again, which just pushes our staples down and creates an even better looking 90. Okay, moving up, spacer, perfection, pre-bend underneath the nose. Here we go, up on a 45-degree angle, every inch or so, double tap on the ends. I always like to move my tools up every stair. Now we're up on top, pressure lined up on the spacer. And then we're going to break the back again, right? We're going to crease it. And this is how we suggest to put in a stair runner. Now you can tell that I am not stapling the sides. I have left the sides open because I've noticed that people who are DIYing, they are not disappearing their staples into the carpet, between the binding and the carpet, and it's showing indentation. So when they send me pictures, I see these indents, and I think the indentations look really horrible. I'm not really trying to be mean, it's just the truth. So I've come up with this technique to just eliminate those staple marks on the side. I mean, you can still put them, but I'm not teaching that method right now to DIYers. This method seems to work the best, but it's a little bit harder because you do have to put pressure on here, and you got to keep pressure on here, and now you're going to break that back. So we're getting ready to finish off our piece of carpet before we start our left turn stair runner landing. Okay, you can see pressure, lean, pressure, break the backing, score the backing, right? So that it doesn't pop. Otherwise your staples are going to pop and it's going to rip the carpet, right? Okay, no different here. We're going to lock that down, countersink it. And then we're going to take a fresh blade, a good knife, and we are going to cut that. Now you got to be careful here not to cut short. I'm almost going to lay my hand down flat. You can see flat, and then flat from the other side, split in the middle, and then I will slice the backs because I do not want to slice my risers. You can't see with my arm in the way there. My apologies. You can see a little bit there. And then we'll tuck that down, we'll blow the fluff out of the way, and then we're ready to go to the left turn landing. Super tucked, super grooved, super clean. Make sure your staples are as far over as possible because otherwise you'll see the indents. I do not like the indents. Okay, here we go. We've already cut our landing into size. I believe it was 45 inches, so we measured 45, we cut it at 45. Now we're lining up. Now our stair runner landings come in one piece, either left or right turn. You can also get a U-shaped landing. We do the pie shape, the wedge shapes. We pretty much customize anything you need. Just get a hold of me on chat and I can direct you in the right direction. Lining up, tapping down, making sure that this looks continuous, like one piece. You don't want it to look like it's connected there, like it's a joint, right? So it was a nice straight cut, and then I cranked it down into the groove. Now I'm just preforming, again, under the nose, up on a 45-degree angle. Staple every inch or two, depending on the carpet. Now this is Anderson Tuftex, always natural silver polish. Stair runner, so it is very tough, hence the name, Tuftex. Right, now we're just going to get rid of that extra because I don't like extra carpet. When you go to staple it, it'll pop the staples. We're going to get our template or our spacer. We're going to put our spacer along that wall because it lines up with the stringer. Now we're just going to start kicking that into place because you want your landing tight, right? Okay, kick, and then I'm going to lock it into that corner. Make sure my spacer is in place, lock it in. Look at that. Locking it in, and on the landings you have to go every inch, and you have to do it between the binding and the carpet. You don't staple on the carpet. You split the binding and the carpet, and you try to hide it underneath the binding. Okay, you don't see any indents on there. Okay, because it's strategic placement of staples. And then you want to bang them down with a hammer if you do see any indentations. Countersink them. Right, we're going to break the back a little bit there. This is what's called a quarter turn landing. We don't miter our landings. So when we come down to the next step here, the herringbone is going to change direction. And that's called a quarter turn. We're going to break the back, crease it, get it into position, and then sharp blade, fresh blade. You got to watch the cut there. You got to be really careful. You'll be short. Okay, we're going to blow out the fluff, and we're going to tap that down, get that ready for the next phase. Okay, we've got a straight piece of carpet, perfectly straight and clean. We're going to line that up, And we're going to lock that into place. Now, I guess sometimes I make it look easy because I've been doing this for a long time. You do not want indentations, so be very careful to split the pile when you do it. Okay, we're going to get up under that nose. You're going to get a good side view of how this is done. Watch how we do that corner, no gaps. We're going to spin that around, up, push, look at that. See that? That's what you want. You don't want to be able to stick your finger in there. Okay, so this is nothing different than before. I've got the kicker up there just to keep this in place while I space it out. Pressure, score, staple. Stair runners for safety. If it's not tight, it's not safe. Now, a lot of people say, why don't you use tack strip with this? This is a felt back carpet, and felt back, when you do this with that with the mallet and the stair tool, will actually rip this carpet. So I stopped using tack strip with Anderson Tuftex felt back years ago. Any felt back, I will not use tack strip. Okay, no different here. Just like we started with the landing, we're gonna score it. We're gonna get it tight. We're gonna 45. Actually, we don't really 45 on the end. We almost go straight up and down as much as we can because we don't want to run our knife down and run into a staple. That's just no fun for anybody. So sharp blade, right? No staples. Tuck it down, blow it out, get ready for the final strip. This is what everyone asks me. Measure. Usually you should measure both sides just to make sure that one side's not 6 1/4 and the other side is 6 inches. I've already pre-cut it. Okay, I'm just going to finish it in. You can see on the top it has the binding, the finished edge. That's how you finish a stair runner. You cut it at the last riser, and then you fit this into place. Right? That's why we always say, how many stairs do you have? You say you have 12. Well, you don't. You have 12.5. Because when you finish off to the upper hall, or to the kitchen, or to wherever you're going, it's 12.5, 13.5. So we're just going to finish this up. You don't need a ton of staples here. It's not going anywhere. Doesn't need to, stand up to a hurricane. And here's the finished picture. Finished result. If you are looking for this carpet, go to directcarpet.com. It's called Silver Polish. It's brand new. And I think it's really fantastic. And if you have any questions, hit me up in chat. Send me an email to support@directcarpet.com. You can send me a picture of your stairs. We'll figure out exactly what you need, and we can get you all set up. Thanks for watching. I'm Shannon with Direct Carpet.